There is no such a thing as risk. I think risk is a myth. And I tell you why. Because when we think about risk, when we think something is risky, when we feel something is risky, we feel something is risky because we know for sure there is a part of us who knows for sure that there are some things that we're not prepared for, right? And because we're not prepared for, dealing with the consequences or dealing with the opportunities, or we're not prepared for taking that step, we think it's risky. There are too many unknowns, and because there are unknowns, we think it's risky. But in fact, when we perceive something to be risky, the only reason why we see that is because we lack resources. Like, you are not aware of the resources, inside of you or around you that would allow you to take that next step. And if you are not aware of that, you think it's risky. Oh, it's risky to leave this secure job and go into an entrepreneurship career because you lack the resources. You lack the awareness that you could do that. You lack the awareness of how to do it. And so anytime when we perceive something as being risky, it's because we lack the resources. So when I say it's risky to invest in this business, it's risky because I don't know how to do that business. I don't have around me a mentor, a trusted advisor who knows that business. I don't have the knowledge to drive that business, and I lack all of these resources that would allow me to run that business successfully. And because I don't have those, I feel, but that's risky. That's a risky, career. That's a risky investment. And so what we're saying here, that there is not such thing as risk. We feel something is risky because we lack the resources to deal with that situation. And so when you think about it in this way, I think the more we spend time into analyzing, okay, what are the missing pieces here that would allow us to actually deal with that situation, and deal with that risk, manage that risk, right? There is always risk in any course of action, but nothing compares with the price that we pay for, continuous inaction. So we need to move forward. We need to take action. But we cannot just allow this, risk, this idea of risk to stop us in doing that. We can just sit with it, we can analyze it, we can see what are the resources that we're lacking, and what are the reasons why we feel this is risky. And then spending time and focusing on gathering those resources, all of a sudden, we will feel this is not so risky. So it might be risky for you to stand up and speak in front of an audience, because you don't have the resources. You haven't, practiced this, and no one told you, you haven't done it, you don't have the dexterity for it. So all of these things that we're talking about are resources that help you, act and perform in that situation. So it might seem risky for you to stand up and speak in front of an audience. But when you look at what you need in order to do that, and when you analyze other people that have done it, what are the resources, what do they do well, right? What are the elements of that? And how can I gather those elements? Now, the more you know, and the more you gather information and resources inside of you about that, the better prepared you are and the less risky it is. So, think about this idea. Is there really risk, or is us, in this state where we think we lack resources, and because we lack those resources, then it's too risky? Think about it. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next.